"Is this really the work of someone who graduated cum laude?" he asked. I was crushed. How you can get from this
I love my job.
to this.
I love my job, I love my job, I love my job.
Every year, tons of people set their sights on the consulting giants, seeing 200,000 applications for McKinsey alone and a round of 2 million for Deloitte. But here's the reality check. Only about of 1% actually get in. Making it into the big four consulting firms isn't just hard. It's like finding a golden ticket. It's the ultimate filter where only the best rise for the top.
Possibly the most influential private institution on the planet.
So why do so many consultants call it quits after just 2 years, walking away from prestige and potential doors a consulting career can open? Having spent over 8 years in the industry myself, I can tell you that consulting has given me incredible opportunities. Opportunities that allowed me to buy my own hotel at the age of 33. But today, let's dive into the flip side. The 7 key reasons why even the most dedicated consultants might decide it's time to leave this, we can say, demanding field.
I'm out of here. I am out of here. I quit.
First reason might be that you love routine. Imagine this. You start a day with a carefully planned to-do list, ready to knock out your task one by one. But hold up. That's not the consulting life. In consulting, your day is never predictable. You might walk in with a plan, but a high-priority project, a last-minute client call, or an urgent task will suddenly shift everything. You're constantly reprioritizing, sometimes adding new tasks to an already packed 10 hours day, maybe 12-hour or 14-hour days. Consulting is dynamic because the world, and first of all the business world itself, is very dynamic. Economics, politics, and even client expectations change, demanding that you adapt and learn every day something new. There's always more to master, making it feel like a perpetual race where the finish line keeps moving. You never settle into a comfort zone, which means you're rarely using the same skill set twice. Each client challenge pulls from a different area. One day you're deep into finance and investments, and the next day you're probably on tackling issues like brand targeting and management strategy. The second reason is that you're not patient. When I first entered consulting at 25, fresh out of university after 7 years of intense study, and already actually with a working background from the age of 16, I felt really prepared. But here's the reality: age often dictates perceptions. To some seasoned professionals, those with 20, 30, or even 50 years of experience in the field, my youth seemed like a disadvantage. I remember finding videos of young consultants online, and in the comments, people would question, how could someone so young give seriously business advice?
I don't need a lecture from you, Tessa, especially about something that you are too young to understand.
Early on, I faced situations that brought this reality to my life, only to see after that the same proposal was warmly received when it was proposed by our founder. Suddenly, it was the best idea they would ever heard. Moments like this are frustrating, but you learn quickly that the age bias is real, and it's not something you can fix overnight. So, what will be the key? Patience and professionalism. Over time, you develop a knack for working with people more experienced than you, understanding how and when to show your expertise and gaining respect in a way that feels authentic. In the end, it's all about staying consistent and knowing that respect comes gradually. The next reason might be that you don't like challenges and you cannot handle stress. I still remember my first conversation with the founder before starting consulting. He looked me in the eye and said, "You give 200% or this job isn't for you." Every week after that, he would bring me new projects, each more complex than the last, until my workload felt overwhelming.
It's okay, I can handle it.
And yes, the deadline was of course for yesterday. But I took on every single one because I thrived on the challenge. For me, it was a chance to test my limits and grow. Of course, not everyone would respond this way. Consulting is really intense, and for many, that level of stress could lead to straight burnout, because you need to work actually 60, 70, or maybe 80, 90 hours per week. But that doesn't make it a flow, it just means everyone's built differently. If you're someone who doesn't handle stress well, this path might not be the best for you. But if you want to strengthen your resilience and see how far you can go, consulting can be a powerful training ground. It's about knowing yourself and choosing what kind of challenges you want to take on. The next reason might be that you put your personal pride over your goals. Let me share a moment that still stands out as one of the most shocking and horrible experiences of my early consulting career. I would spend days putting together what I thought was a perfect project. Proudly, I presented it to our founder, only to watch him to skim it, rip it to shreds, and throw it away right in front of me like this. "Is this really the work of someone who graduated cum laude?" he asked. I was crushed. I remember heading straight to the bathroom, barely holding back tears and questioning if I should ever even stay here. But then I remembered why I would choose this path. I wanted to learn, to grow. Was I crazy to stay? Maybe. But looking back, that experience made me stronger. A few years later, he explained me, "You need to be hard to get soft." His way of dealing with me was a kind of tough love reserved for those he saw potential in, preparing me for the challenges to come. Because in consulting, you will face difficult clients and tense situations where emotions run high. Those early lessons, however, were very difficult for me, and they taught me how to handle pressure, stay calm, and remain professional, even when things get personal. It wasn't easy, but it was worth it, maybe. I hope so. The next reason may be that you search for work-life balance. Time for hobbies, time for friends, time for personal life. All cancel, guys, at least for the first few years until you work your way up. In consulting, if you're hoping for a job where you can clock out at the same time every day to spend time with the loved ones, this probably isn't the right job for you.
You play golf?
No, I have no time for golf.
The truth is, consulting offers unique growth and benefits you rarely find elsewhere, but not work-life balance. That's often the first sacrifice, the highest price you need to pay. When there is a deadline looming or a project that needs approval, you're putting in extra hours. If a client needs you until 8-9 p.m., you are there. And if it means hopping on a plane to assess a company, you're packed and ready. It's not for everyone, but if you're up for the challenge, it's an intense and rewarding journey, I can say. The next reason is that you cannot insist on your opinion. Sometimes clients just don't buy into your analysis or advice. They'll want to do things their way, based on what feels right to them. But it's also about finding the right words to communicate your perspective clearly and introspectively. But when you have the full picture, insights from multiple sources, and prior expertise with similar cases in many industries, you have to have the courage to stand your ground. It's not about age or status. As a consultant, you are this expert and you are paid for it. This is without a doubt one of the toughest parts of the job. Having the guts to say no or to gently point out when a client is on the wrong track. Balancing honestly with tact can be, we can say, a fine line, and mastering this skill can be very useful in any field you go. And the next reason, that you don't like numbers. Everything in consulting starts with numbers. Are customers happy? Check the data. How are employees feeling? Look at the survey stats. How's the company performing? Pull out the balance sheet. Planning an investment? Let's run those figures again. Numbers may not lie. Well, at least not 100% of the time. The truth is, numbers are the foundation of every business decision. But it's not just about reading them, it's about connecting the dots. It can be compared to playing chess, when you need to analyze the current situation and predict what can happen in the future. Numbers alone tell you little until you piece them together to reveal the biggest picture. So, if numbers aren't your thing, or you don't find them at least a little fun, or you don't want to learn how they work, the job might be really stressful and difficult for you. If you found this video helpful, check out my other video on hotel consulting, where I explain why consulting prepares you for almost any career out there. We will see each other in the next video, and thank you again for your precious time with me.